Hey everybody, welcome back to the Wasatch Reading Club. I'm glad to see you today. In today's What Should I Read video series, I'm going to talk about a couple of books that I have taught for a few years in 7th through 9th grade. That would be students who are 12, 13, 14, 15 years old, and found a lot of success with these two books. So if you have a child who's maybe 11, 12, 13, 14 years old, having a hard time reading, boys in particular would like these because the main characters, the protagonists in these books, are boys. And they're dealing with some interesting situations here. So let's get into this. I've got a couple of books for teenage or preteen boys. All right, the two books that I want to share with you today in the What Should I Read series are two books that I love. I have a hard time finishing the end of these books, personally reading them out loud because I get so emotional. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, if that makes kids uncomfortable or if they really connect with the story, because I feel a good connection to the story. These two books are pretty short reads. They're pretty easy to read, and the message that they share, the main idea of these stories is pretty important. It's to not give up. When things get difficult, when things are challenging, when things seem impossible, or when things feel overwhelming, how do we overcome those things? These books are funny. There's some pretty good humor in these books. These books have some scary parts. Not too scary, I think, for 12, 13, 14 years old, but definitely parts of the story that make them think, what's going to happen next? Shoot, what are they going to do? How are they going to get out of this situation? These two books are also important, I think, because it helps kids to reflect on how or what they would do in this situation if they were in this same situation. One of the things that you might hear an English teacher, you might remember your English teacher saying is, what is your connection to this text? What is your text to self connection? How do you connect to this book? How are you the same as this character? What would you do if you were in this character's situation? The other thing about these two books is they have a fantastic text to world opportunity to think about how we relate to these books and how we have an impact, or how we can have an effect on the world around us. The first book that I wanted to share in this video, this What Should I Read series, is A Long Walk to Water by Linda Sue Park. This is based on a true story about a boy who grew up in Sudan at the beginning of the civilian war, the conflict that was there in Sudan, before South Sudan and North Sudan split over the conflict there with religion and government and a lot of the things that were going on there. It's about a boy who is a part of a tribe, and the conflict with another tribe is about his survival through this conflict, about his family and memories that he has with his family and how he survives through that and how he eventually gets back to his family after this conflict. It's a really short read. There's actually two stories that take place in this book, so it's kind of an alternating chapter. One chapter talks about his story, and one chapter talks about another girl's story. And I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but the story is fantastic. The things that he goes through and the problems that people face in places where they don't have things like clean water. The second book that I'd like to share with you after A Long Walk to Water is The Watsons Go to Birmingham. That's by Christopher Paul Curtis. This story is a historical fiction, and it's another one of those where you think, what would I do if I were in this situation? It's a time period when there was a lot of conflict. I mean, there still is conflict in our world today, but specifically about race and church bombings and how people are treated, or how other people treat us, or how we treat other people. The Watsons Go to Birmingham is about a family that lives in Michigan, and the mom does not like living there. She's from the South, and it's way too cold for her. And so they go on a road trip to the South to visit her mom, and the kids get to experience what it's like living in the South during the 1960s. Again, I don't want to spoil anything for you, but The Watsons Go to Birmingham is hilarious. There's some things that happen between brother to brother and brother and sister, and some of the things that they say to each other, and Dad's pretty corny too. He says some pretty funny things. I think we can relate a lot to this. Everyone has sort of a funny family situation. Everyone has a dad that makes corny dad jokes. All of us have had a brother or sister that does some pretty dumb things, and we try to figure out how to help them, or we figure out how to defend them, or maybe we're just tired of their antics. Anyway, those are two awesome books for Teenage Boys, Early Teen Boys, A Long Walk to Water by Linda Sue Park, and The Watsons Go to Birmingham by Christopher Paul Curtis. I'd recommend both of those books. Again, this isn't an endorsement or a paid any kind of paid video. This isn't a paid video or anything. I'm just recommending books that I think you might enjoy, your reader might enjoy. I'd love to hear what you think about these books. Go ahead and leave a comment below. If you like this video series on what should I read, please leave a comment below, or subscribe, or like this video so that I can see that this is doing something good for you. If you'd like to see more videos like this, or if you'd like to hear about what I think about other books, or if there are books that you're not sure if your kid should be reading, leave a message below and I'll look into that book and I'll tell you what I think about it. Thanks for stopping by the Wasatch Reading Club today. Hope you have a great day.